Hello, HyddenWell farmers. I'm out here feeding my sheep today. Had some bad storms come through last night, but all in all, everybody's doing really good. Now, I was thinking about StoryTime at HyddenWell, and I thought I might tell you a story about working on sheep. I took a class at the University of Kentucky for my animal science degree called sheep production. Dr. Ely, I remember Dr. Ely very well. Good man, great professor, one of my favorites of all time, and he was most certainly extremely knowledgeable in small animal ruminant production, especially sheep production, and he taught a 500 level production class that I took I took during the University of Kentucky studies for my degree. But during that sheep class, we had a lab twice a week out at the farms where they had a herd of sheep, a flock of sheep, I should say. In case Dr. Ely's, 1 in a billion chance he's watching this. I don't want to offend him by calling it a herd of sheep, flock of sheep. But anyway, we were at the farm doing labs. It had to be springtime, and there was a whole bunch of new babies that had been born, and we were working through talking about vaccination protocols, talking about newborn immediate therapies to manage to help keep them healthy, what you do with the mother, and the subject of weathering came up. Now, weathering is a fancy term. I don't know where it came from. I didn't research that out, but a stallion is an intact male horse, and a bull is an intact male cow or cattle, and a ram is an intact male sheep. So if you castrate a sheep, then it becomes a wether. And so I had been working for the University of Kentucky for the meats lab for quite a while, and so I had heard stories. And I've always been one that I can't just block everything out all the time. I think it's part of Susan calls dyslexia. I don't know, but unless I'm in the right frame of mind where I can zone everything out, I get sensory overload. I start hearing everything. And so we'd be in the meats lab and people would start talking, and I try not to eavesdrop on those conversations, but sometimes purposely did. And they would be talking about the classes that were, above me, in front of me, going to the production and all this kind of stuff and different things. And there was a pretty common funny thing that went around, that when they were doing the castration thing, they would always show the different techniques that farmers use to castrate newborn rams. And one of the ways that they like to poke fun a lot at the new youngins is where and I really think it's just kind of like snipe hunting. It's just a made-up fun thing to try to tease youngsters about stuff, is that when you make a little incision over the little ram's testicles and they're popping out, you reach down and you grab them with your teeth and you pull them out. And every time they would come to that part, you would always hear people talking about the experiences and the looks in their faces, and how they would try to get these youngins to do this. They never could, and then they would make bets, and I'll do it if you'll do it. I'll buy you pizza if you'll do it. Just that kind of stuff. And the other professors would just get such a kick out of that. Well, I never said anything or let on, but I registered that information because I knew I was going to take that class. And so, me being me, and I am ignorant. I ain't going to lie to you. Just ignorant. I'm an ignorant human being. I get tickled thinking about it. I knew that day was coming up, and I knew what was going to happen. So I decided that I would take matters into my own hands. And so it got all these, young girls that are around in the class and all these other men and the farm hands and stuff like that. And the time come to it, well, when Dr. Ely come to the part of castrating, I knew he was getting close to the part where he was going to show us. And I said, Dr. Ely, Dr. Ely. He goes, what? I said, do you mind if I show you how we do it on the farm? And he kind of looked at me and says, no. So I reached over and I slid it and I grabbed out with my teeth. I just checked him out and I spit him on. Dr. Ely was sitting. He's like, what? And all the youngins that were there, my classmates, were just, they were dying. Oh my goodness. I mean, it was just total awkward silence for like 10 minutes. Just nothing. I didn't say anything. I just stood there smiling, And finally, Dr. Steely's like, where'd you learn to do that? I said, oh, that's just how Dr. Culver does it back home. That's all he's ever done. I just totally blamed it on Mike Culver from Wisburg. I'm sorry, Mike. It didn't hurt you none. Oh, the looks that I got that day. I was the talk of that clinic. My boss at the time, Jim May, I come in the next day, and the first day, he always had this thing where he'd shake his head. As soon as he see me, he went, he just starts shaking his head going on. And he'd drop his arms down, stuff like that. He said, I heard what you did. And so I started telling him, oh my gosh, I thought Jim was going to have a stroke laughing so hard. That was a lot of fun, and got me an A in the class, probably. It wasn't my academia, that's for sure. Anyway, I thought you would enjoy that story from HyddenWell Farms. God bless. Have a great weekend.